Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd make a video regarding a topic that has been debated for many years in the fandom, and that is Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 transformation versus Dabura. For me, this is a topic that's kind of nonsensical. Why would you fight an opponent such as Dabura, who is a cell level threat as a Super Saiyan, when you have Super Saiyan 2 at your disposal? Now, of course, there's always the idea that Saiyans hold back and like to test themselves out. However, when Gohan's fighting Dabura, this is simply not true. I feel like this is an opponent that if he fought in his Super Saiyan 1 form, he would be defeated quite easily. Now, obviously, there is the first topic I'd like to touch on, which is ease of transformation. We see Gohan at the Tenkaichi Budokai, the World Martial Arts Tournament, and he transforms into the Super Saiyan 2 form here for Kibito. And it's quite easy to see here that he actually has to put more of a struggle in to obtain this form and has to get a lot more worked up than Goku and Vegeta. He really, I think, is heightened from the emotions he felt watching Videl get beaten by Spopovich, and because of this, he's worked up enough to go Super Saiyan 2. This doesn't mean he can't access the form whenever he wants. However, he does have to get more worked up rather than how easily Goku and Vegeta can just pop straight into the form. And this goes into my second point, which is mastery versus not having mastery. It is my opinion that Gohan never bothered to master the Super Saiyan 2 form. You got to go back to Namek and think about how Goku said to Trunks that he had to get really worked up at first to do it. Now that can be thinking about thoughts that would get you worked up, training, however you want to get worked up emotionally or heightened, but I think Goku and Vegeta could just transform into this state at ease because obviously once they obtain a form, they're going to train to master that form. The only form we've ever really seen Gohan train to master is the Super Saiyan form in the Room and Spirit of Time or Hyperbolic Time Chamber back in the Cell arc when he was training with Goku. He trained to master the Super Saiyan form, and that's what we saw, Super Saiyan Grade 4 at the Cell games. However, there's no evidence that Gohan ever trained to master and maintain Super Saiyan 2 to the level that Goku and Vegeta did. You can also argue that the only other form he trained to master could potentially be his ultimate form in Dragon Ball Super when Piccolo was training him back into that form. Maybe he obtained some sort of the mastery of the form there, because prior to that you'd never really seen him transform back into the ultimate Gohan form outside of the Battle of Gods movie and in the Dragon Ball Super arc for the Tournament of Power. Next thing I want to bring up is hairstyle. It's very well known that Gohan only has the one single bang of hair at the front, and this is consistently drawn this way in the Buu arc of Dragon Ball Z. Now, I just want to touch on the fact that at the World Martial Arts Tournament and in his fight against Dabura, he has the same hairstyle. And also, when he's powering up to get angry, to use a Kamehameha on Majin Buu, when he's still sealed inside his ball, he still has the single bang of hair. Again, if you're going to take out a threat such as Majin Buu, which is built up to be the biggest threat they've ever faced, why would you do it in your Super Saiyan form? Why would Goku be telling him to get angry? Because he knows, Goku knows, Vegeta know, that Gohan is weaker than he was at the Cell games. His Super Saiyan 2 form is weaker because he doesn't have the anger. It doesn't mean all of a sudden he can't access the form. It means that his Super Saiyan 2 form is weaker than Goku and Vegeta's. You have to remember, Vegeta had a superiority complex to Gohan. He's not going to challenge Gohan to a fight unless he thinks he can beat him. The last time he saw Gohan fight was against Cell. He knows that that was the benchmark for power. That's what Vegeta would have been going after. He trained for 7 years. We saw that in Daima he obtained Super Saiyan 3 within a year of Majin Buu being defeated. So it's safe to say Vegeta obtained Super Saiyan 2 by himself and was using that in those 7 years. Anyone who thinks that he unlocked it using the Majin boost, it's just that, it's a boost. It boosted his Super Saiyan 2 potential to be up to Goku's because Goku had already gone beyond Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3, so he had a power gap over Vegeta. Potentially even in base form Goku was stronger, which is why Vegeta needed his powers boosted by Babidi. We know that the Super Saiyan transformation is a 50 times multiplier and that the Super Saiyan 2 transformation is a 100 times multiplier. So naturally, if Goku was stronger than Vegeta in his base, then his Super Saiyan 2 form's going to be stronger, which means Vegeta needed the boost for his Super Saiyan 2 to match Goku's. I thought that was quite easy to understand, but people over the years have speculated. It's kind of concrete that Vegeta had Super Saiyan 2. It's even been stated by people who worked in the show, and it's been stated in things such as video games. If you want to use those as references, it states that Vegeta obtained that form during the 7-year time skip. And this is why Goku and Vegeta's Super Saiyan 2 form is stronger than Gohan's. They have complete mastery over it. The next point I want to touch on is lightning versus no lightning. Now, we don't always see lightning in the Super Saiyan 2 form, and this just isn't on Gohan. This isn't exclusive to Gohan. Vegeta doesn't always have lightning in Super Saiyan 2. Goku does not always have lightning in Super Saiyan 2. This is just a fact. So you can't use the argument that Gohan didn't have lightning versus Dabura for having the Super Saiyan 1 form being the form he was using. He was not using the Super Saiyan 1 form. He would have gotten murked if he was using the Super Saiyan 1 form. Now, we also know that logically, as I've mentioned earlier, it does not make any sense for you to use a weaker form when challenging Majin Buu or when challenging Dabura. It makes zero sense. And his hairstyle in the Dabura fight was a Super Saiyan 2 hairstyle. And same against Majin Buu once he'd powered up. You can even go to the Supreme Kai world, the world of the Kais, when he was training with the Z Sword and he's sensing Goku's Super Saiyan 3 power back on Earth. And he's looking back towards the Earth from the realm of the Kais. Again, he's got a Super Saiyan 2 hairstyle there. It's very consistent. The only time it's not really consistent is when he first transforms into a Super Saiyan against Dabura. But there is a point in that fight against Dabura where he goes into a Super Saiyan transformation and then he transforms even further or powers up even further. The scene I'm talking about in questions when he powers up and you see rocks flying towards Dabura, he transforms into a Super Saiyan, and then after that he heightens his ki and powers up and it sends like a shockwave towards Dabura. That's when his hair goes from Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 2. So it's not always perfectly consistent. But you have to remember, these are characters that have seen Super Perfect Cell. They've seen Gohan as a Super Saiyan 2 against Cell. That was the benchmark. Why would they aim for anything less than that? Gohan obviously knows that he's not as strong as he was at the Cell games. He doubts himself a lot. That's one of his character traits. So him doubting himself is going to make himself weaker. So all of these things play into the fact that he's not as strong as he was at the Cell games. But we do know that he was still a Super Saiyan 2. We saw that at the World Tournament. So why would he then stop using it all of a sudden against Dabura and Majin Buu? It's one of the most nonsensical arguments I've ever seen. And honestly, there's no evidence to support whatsoever that he was using Super Saiyan 1 against Dabura. Obviously, there's the Broly movie, the Broly Second Coming movie. People debate that as well. Once again, you can use the animation inconsistencies to debate it. However, it's quite clear when you look at the movie guidebooks that Gohan did have Super Saiyan 2 hair, and he was a Super Saiyan 2 against Broly in that movie. He may have eased himself into the fight and started off as a Super Saiyan 1, and then powered up into Super Saiyan 2. Again, there's not always lightning. They can power up and not show lightning. There's only a number of scenes that Vegeta shows lightning in the Buu arc. Obviously when he's fighting Goku with his Majin boost, and then small scenes here and there when he's fighting Buu, he has lightning around his aura. So it's inconsistent and it can't be used as the single basis for Super Saiyan 2 as a transformation. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys in the future.